Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and on today's video we're going to rank the last 7 MVP seasons in the NBA. We're not going to count Joel Embiid. The season of course isn't over. I'm currently recording this while game 6 is currently being played of the Sixers and Celtics. I forgot a little brain fart right there, but we're gonna rank them from worst to best based on my opinion. Like I said, this is my opinion. Some of y'all be a little mad sometimes when I be talking about it, but like I said, my opinion. Let me know what y'all favorite NBA player was to win the MVP out of these that I'm ranking, and drop a like, subscribe, and let's get into it. Okay, so my first player on this list is gonna be a back-to-back player. It's gonna be Jokic. Now I personally have his 2021 season below his 2022 season. I feel like the first season it was good, but then second season it got better. Here's my take on it and why there's below. There's some other MVP seasons on here that are just, some of them are just better. So let's break down Jokic's 2021 season. That season he averaged some pretty nice points. I mean, 26 points. I mean, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. I mean, that's not bad game from Jokic. That's obviously a good game for Jokic. They ended up losing in the second round though, getting swept by the Phoenix Suns at 4 games, which is an absolute disaster class by the Nuggets. But Jokic, he had an all-around super good year, MVP level. Personally, this year for me made me fall in love with Jokic's game and have me be a big fan of his. I know it's a lot of people who aren't a big fan of his, but personally, this season and him winning MVP made me respect this man and definitely have high hopes on this Nuggets team in the future. So let's break down his 2022 season. So Jokic this year averaged 27 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists. Now here, in my opinion, why this beats his other season. This man pretty much had no help and he got the Nuggets to the playoffs. I know they lost in the first round to the Warriors, but let's be honest, this man carried. No Jamal Murray, no Michael Porter Jr. throughout the whole year basically. Porter played maybe 12 games at the beginning of the year, but no Jamal Murray for the whole year. This man put the team on his back and got this team to the playoffs and won another MVP. In my season, in my opinion, that is why this season is higher. Because like I said, putting the team on his back, making this Nuggets team, which without Jokic, it would be terrible. It would just not be a good team whatsoever. Putting the team on his back and be able to make this team a playoff team. And I know they really didn't contend with the Warriors. Of course, the Warriors were champions last year. But like I said, Jokic, amazing season through him, but there are some other seasons on here that I feel like they can compare, but they're just better in my opinion. So let's get into them. Next up, we have Russell Westbrook's 2017 MVP season. In my opinion, Russ is definitely one of my favorite point guards of all time, and this season just shows this was kind of like, I don't know what you would call it, maybe like a Cinderella story, but he's kind of what Jokic did. He kind of carried this team, I would say. This man, Russ, averaged 31, 10, and 10. He averaged a triple-double as an MVP, which is just wild in my opinion. This man, Russ, this year was absolutely balling in OKC, and that's part of the reason why, well, mainly the reason why they made the playoffs. And the thing was, they ended up playing the Houston Rockets in the first round. But here's the thing, Westbrook went completely off, but it wasn't enough to end the Rockets. They ended up losing in the first round in 5 to the Houston Rockets, which is kind of disappointing to end Russ's huge MVP campaign this year. Well, very disappointing way to end in my opinion, getting bounced first round and you're an MVP, which a lot of these MVPs on this list really don't have a luck of winning championships, as you're going to see. But like I said, it's kind of a disappointing way to end the year, losing in the first round. But that's another reason why I was so low on this list. Russ, like I said, it was a great season for Russ. The playoffs, it just didn't work out for him. But overall, average a triple-double, man. Like, averaging a triple-double in my opinion is like something one of the best things you can do in the game of basketball for me for some reason. So love that for Russ. Let's move on to the next player. The next player that we have on this list is Giannis's 2019 season. Giannis's 2019 season was pretty wild, and this was where Giannis really started breaking out into that superstar category, I would say. Giannis that year at 27 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists per game. You know, absolutely pretty much balling for Giannis at this time. This is when he really started breaking out. And he carried this Bucks team, and this Bucks team got all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals, something very, very surprising for the Bucks. But here's the thing, they were up 2-0 on the Toronto Raptors, looking like, whoa, are the Bucks about to go to the finals? Like, this is crazy. But then they end up losing in 6, of course, losing straight 4 games to the Toronto Raptors. Of course, Kawhi and them go on to win the championship that year. But like I said, this was a super good season for Giannis. It was the first MVP season for Giannis. But there is another one on here that I do think is better. But it's not like this was a bad season at all. I do feel like the other one that I'm going to mention later is better. But Giannis and them had a great year, like I said. This man really helped bring this franchise out of the dump, I would say. Like, who talked about the Bucks before this insane finals run and before Giannis really started breaking out into his MVP candidate? This man, all around greatness from Giannis. So let's get into the next player, which is, it's kind of surprising, but also kind of not surprising that he's third on this list. The third player on this list is 2018 James Harden. 2018 James Harden was on another level. This man was an absolute beast. This man was averaging 30 points, 5 rebounds per game, and 8 assists. There was just some stretches that this man Harden would go on in Houston that just absolutely killed it. This man was an absolute beast. He looked like one of the greatest point guards ever in Houston. Just the way that he scored. He was such a good scorer back in the day, back with the Houston Rockets era. And this 2018 season really proved why he is on top of that score and why he was this good of a scorer. I mean, if you look at some of the stretch of his games that he went on, just scoring the basketball, 30-point games, 40-point games, 50-point games, just dropping them like it's nothing, because it was so easy for this man. This man was just an all-around baller in Houston. They also had the first offensive rating that year. They were the best offensive team in the league. But the way that their season ended is so sad. This Rockets team was so close to beating the Golden State Warriors, the closest team that someone has came to beating that Golden State Warriors dynasty with Kevin Durant, besides, of course, the Raptors with all the injuries. They lost in 7 games to the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. Chris Paul ended up getting hurt, which as usual, as he always does, he got hurt, and it really started to screw them. This game 7, the Rockets ended up, they were up 2. They end up missing 27 3-pointers in a row. That is kind of just bad luck, and that's just unheard of. 27 in a row from this Houston Rockets team. And this led the Warriors to be able to come back in that game 7, put them away, and the Warriors ended up going up to the finals. Like I said, this season was amazing from Harden. They almost beat the KD and Steph Curry Warriors. It would have been crazy if they would have went to the finals. Almost got a Rocket. James Harden almost got his first ring this year. Would have been a crazy Rockets-Cavs matchup, but like I said, it didn't happen. The season was amazing from Harden though, and that's why I got him at 3. Some people might get mad in the comments for this one. 2 and 3 are really interchangeable, but I got Giannis's 2020 season at 2. This was a masterclass, to be honest. Harden's year, he was also a masterclass. In my opinion, it's very close, very interchangeable, like I said. Giannis's year averaged 29, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, and a block per game. This man was going nuts. He was going on a revenge tour this year. He wanted his revenge, and he wanted to go back to the Eastern Conference Finals and go get to that championship. He was on an all-around tear, but also this team went out sad. Now, I don't know if it's as bad as the Rockets went out sad, but this Bucks team went out pretty sad too. So we all know what happened in the year of 2020. The NBA gets stopped. So also before that break, Giannis ended up getting hurt, but they did end up getting the 1 seed. And it just stopped, for a little bit. Giannis did end up getting hurt, which is kind of a concern. But like I said, it stopped and it didn't go on for months. So Giannis was able to heal up. Throughout the bubble, the Bucks didn't look great, to be honest with you. They looked kind of questionable in some games. They were like, this team might have lost its flow and rhythm. It's just like, it just didn't feel right. And then they play the Miami Heat in the first round. I mean, not the first round, the second round. I apologize. They end up beating the Orlando Magic in the first round. They play the Miami Heat in the second round, and they end up losing in 5 games to Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo's Heat. They ended up going up pretty sad for this Bucks team that had championship aspirations. But like I said, 3 and 2 for this list is pretty interchangeable. Maybe you could put Harden here, but in my opinion, this Giannis season, it was a revenge tour. This man went on an all-around tear. He was trying to do his best to get back, and the bubble and just everything that happened just slowed it down and just ruined it all. That is why I think that this Bucks team would have had a great chance if Giannis probably would have got back on track before he got injured and came back. This Bucks team would have had a great chance to go win a championship. But like I said, there's nothing we can do about it now. Harden and Giannis, they're pretty interchangeable. But let's get into number 1. If you realize there's been one player on this list that I haven't mentioned yet, then y'all should already know who number 1 is. Come on now. Do I even need to talk about why he's number 1? This is probably one of the greatest offensive seasons that we have ever seen from a player. After winning the unanimous MVP the year before, he goes on a tear and wins this bad boy back-to-back. Stephen Wardell Curry ends up averaging 30 points, 6 assists per game, 5 rebounds in 79 games with the Golden State Warriors, and he wins MVP. This man is one of the best offensive players that we have seen. He averaged 5 threes a game, by the way, and 11 threes attempted. This man could just shoot up threes like it was nothing, and he just made them. Like, do I really need to even, like, I shouldn't even have to explain why he's number one. One of the greatest offensive players we've ever seen, one of the greatest offensive seasons that we've ever seen. There's just one thing that kind of tarnishes this from being perfect, and that is a finals win. And I think we all know what happened to the 2016 Golden State Warriors. Ends up blowing a 3-1 lead in the NBA Finals to the Cleveland Cavaliers. If that didn't happen, this season would be so perfect. Like, Stephen Curry, one of the greatest offensive players we've ever seen. I've already said that so many times. But like I said, if they would have just won the finals, won one more game up 3-1, this would be definitely one of the best seasons ever from a player. But not having that championship kind of tarnishes it. But like I said, none of these players even on this list won a championship. So the way that this offensive Stephen Curry played and how good his offense was, and just shows how good of a player that he was this year, makes him number one on this list, and why he is the best player to win MVP out of the last 7 years. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed the video, please smash that subscribe button. Make sure you like the video. Really helps out this channel. Also, you guys should go watch these 2 videos right here. Very well videos that I made about the NBA and basketball. Things that are going on right now, things going on in the past. Like I said, can y'all do that? I'd appreciate it. Have a nice day, all y'all. I'll see y'all in the next one.